NATO forces continue their assault on Taliban positions in Afghanistan's Khanna province, the latest offensive to crush the resurgent militants. The Taliban has intensified its drive against NATO and Afghan government forces. At the Bravo Battery 16 artillery unit, U.S. soldier Joshua Frank says it is time for a change.
We definitely need some change. So a fresh guy, fresh start would be good.
South Asia expert Steve Call at the New America Foundation underscores the need for a new U.S. strategy in Afghanistan.
It needs to re-emphasize political, economic development and aid approaches as well as regional diplomatic negotiations.
General David Petraeus, who as U.S. Central Command Chief now oversees American operations in Afghanistan, has indicated he favors pursuing an Afghan government-led reconciliation effort with the Taliban. Such a move would include reconciliation with Taliban insurgents, both in Afghanistan and Pakistan. One newspaper report says U.S. military officials believe renegade Afghan commander Gulbuddin Hekmatyar and other rebel leaders might be persuaded to stop fighting in exchange for money and greater political influence. Such tactics were used with some success in Iraq, and the report says the U.S. military is considering doing the same in Afghanistan. The reassessment comes as Afghanistan prepares for elections next year. Again, Steve Call.
The new strategy that the United States has started to develop, though it hasn't finished doing so, which the next president will inherit, I think will be rooted in the desire to have successful elections and to adopt an approach to Afghanistan that will emphasize politics over military solutions.
But the Taliban has said repeatedly it will not talk with the Afghan government until all foreign troops leave the country. Also, Pakistani newspapers have recently quoted hardline Taliban leaders as warning that Washington is trying to divide them. They reportedly have vowed never to break up their alliance with Al-Qaeda. Stephen Cohen at the Brookings Institution says there should be no reconciliation talks unless this alliance is severed, though he acknowledges such a move is unlikely.
I think that, in fact, the Taliban are still dependent on al-Qaeda, have a close relationship with al-Qaeda, and groups that do directly threaten the United States.
But others say a U.S. offer to talk to the Taliban, even if the militants are reluctant, is a good strategy. Author and Pakistan expert Shuja Nawaz says the key is to isolate the hardliners.
Changing the nature of the militancy and isolating the few that are now saying that they won't talk.
And this opportunity may come over the issue of the upcoming elections. Again, Steve Call.
To divide the Taliban over the question of whether or not to participate in electoral politics, that would be part of a successful strategy potentially with the elections in mind.
Meanwhile, General Petraeus was in Pakistan and Afghanistan this week to assess the situations there. Washington hopes the CENTCOM chief can do for Afghanistan what he did in Iraq, where he is credited with dramatically reducing violence while in command of U.S. forces. Ravi, Khanna, VOA News.